Yes, all the videos coming out now are in a total mishmash with the different days, but yeah, I will sort it out later. So if you wait a week, they will be in order. You just go to playlist and they will be fixed. But let's talk about today. And gotta start first things first, I guess. Graham, staying with him. Oh, it was very nice, and it's so funny because he's American. Ha ha ha! Very funny. But as a Swedish person, we are kind of different. So he was so social and open in a way that I'm not used to. I mean, at one time, can I do this with the phone? Yeah, I was washing my hands, and then he came and put his hands on top of my hands and like washed my hands. I was like, what the? I was thinking, what the fuck are you doing? But we were both laughing, at the same time, and I know he didn't mean anything weird with it. But just like that, and always, so quick having a comment or something. I was sitting having a lesson with a student, and we were talking, and then he sat like 2 meters away at his computer. And I said like, "Oh, tell me if I'm disturbing you. I can go literally any other room." And he's like, "No, no, it's fine. I have free time, so I can do whatever I want." I was like, "Please don't do whatever you want." And he's like, "Oh yeah." It was like, this is weird. Why am I telling you this? But no, and like then when he just walked past, he just slapped his butt. But my student didn't see since we're facing each other. But things like that. He's funny and very laid back, and I'm like, is this how Americans are? Because in Sweden we are kind of like yeah, we're uptight and we're stale. But now I understand it. I mean, if he is like a normal American person, I don't know that, but it's like I thought it was very interesting, very interesting. And he gave me, it was so funny. It's like this candy, but it was like cat treat, but it was not for cats. It said specifically for human, not for cat. It was very. I should have filmed it, but didn't have time. Yeah, but it was very nice, very friendly. So yeah, it was fun time. And he told me when we were going by the car, because there are Air Force literally everywhere here, and the military Americans. And when we went past like one of the roads, he said like, yeah, pretty much every day there's a Chinese spy that is standing here and writing up in his notepad which planes comes and leaves to the Air Force station. I thought that was so funny, and Graham was like, yeah, very sneaky of him. Like, you're right there in the open where everyone can see. I thought that was fun. It's like, oh, I got a Chinese spy story. Amazing. Yeah, and this morning he was gonna fly off to his next place, and I was gonna go diving because I was unsure whether I was gonna even stay. My plan was like, I have 3 days now: today, tomorrow, and tomorrow, that I don't know what to do with. So it's like either I will stay here or travel to the next place. I will see when I am in Okinawa, but I'm actually so happy I went further up, because I was like, I thought Okinawa was this teeny tiny island. Turns out it's quite big, okay? um, so I've been like in the lower half of the main Okinawa island, but now I'm slightly above that. And it's so beautiful. It's like this crazy, I was gonna say Christmas card, but a card, that you see, that you buy, a hagaki, postcard, picture postcard. I can speak English. And it's just so crazy. It's like, but it's so beautiful. And it wasn't as beautiful further down. So I'm super happy I came up, and now I'm like, oh, god damn it, I want to stay here for even more days. But in a way, I like not having enough time. It's like, yeah, it just makes me want to come back. And I would have wanted to take my diving certificate today, but it was so hard to find a place to even dive. So, yeah, I'm glad I got to dive. So, certificate will have to wait for another time, another day. Oh, and no, I left it here specifically to show it to you. God damn it! Why is it so hard? Aha! I got this one so I could see which, like before I went diving, I was like, oh, I can pre-study and see which fishes I will see. So I don't remember all of them, but I saw the Find Nemo one, number B. I saw number C, butterfly fish. Um, and I saw F, and then we saw K and L, very beautiful. That one, I really liked seeing them. And then we saw that one, according to my diving instructor. Um, yeah, we saw H as well. Du-du-du-du. And then we saw the needlefish. I think they are so cool, the needlefish. Um, and then I think we saw all the three bottom ones as well. And then we saw, it's like he showed me the sign for octopus, and I was like, where is it? I want to see it. I want to see the octopus in the water. It's like I was not standing there, but floating there. Like for 2 minutes, I tried to see it, and then I asked him when we resurfaced, and he was like, yeah, it was like this bright color, but then I don't know if it got scared, but then it hid under a rock and it changed color. So it's like that's probably why I didn't see it. I was like, god damn it, I didn't see it. Shimata. But yeah, but we saw many beautiful fishes. So the first time we went to the blue cave, and it was so many people. First time I dived, I was alone. It was just me and the instructor. I was so lucky. So this time it's like a fuck ton of people. I was like so many people, but it was just me and him. Like we were like one group, and then there were like other groups, kind of. But there were many people. It's like you have people above you, under you, left, right, and it's like with diving, it's like sometimes you like at one point I was like, what is up, what is down? It can be kind of hard sometimes. But it was so cool when we came into the cave, because I mean a cave is cool above ground, but then to be in the sea, I was like under the water in a cave. That was very cool. And one thing that was so cool, he never took any videos, but he took a few pictures. That's why I wanna. Because I want to go to sleep, but I realized I need to say this today while I still remember, while it's still fresh in my head, because otherwise I will forget. But when we were in the blue cave, and I kind of looked up, and you could see like okay, like not like the surface was way up, but I don't have arms that are 3 meters long, so but I could see the surface above us, and it was like shimmering, and I was like, oh, it looks very cool from below looking up. I was like, oh, it looks very 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 cool, like big glittery that. And it took me like a few minutes actually before looking up. It's like no, it's not the surface, it's actually like a fish, like a school of fish, but they were right by the surface, and like they kind of created the illusion of like a shimmering surface, and that was so cool. It's just like it's it's so impossible to describe. I'm sorry, and it's not like I could draw it either, but just trust me, it looked very very cool. And then the second time, because we dived for 30 minutes, came back, and just going out on that boat was so amazing. Sitting there in the wetsuit, you sit in this boat with all other people, everyone is excited to go diving, and like this just turquoise blue green water. It's like this does not exist. Like this is Photoshop. My eyes are being photoshopped right now. I'm in the Matrix. This is not real. It's too beautiful. I'm like, once again, I'm from Sweden. We don't have that. um, so it's just so crazy. And once again, I got this, super summery feeling, going out with the boat. And I was just thinking, I'm so happy. I grew up in a country where we have water. no, but we're because I have so many memories, going out to the sea and just picking shells, or um, swimming, or going water skiing, like alone or with friends. So it's like kind of that same feeling, like the happy childhood memories. So it was just super super nice, and I was just so happy, and it was beautiful just going out to the place. And then the second time, because we went back to land, took a little break, went back out, and then I asked him, like, the second time, are we gonna go to the cave again? He's like, yeah. And I was like, can we please not? It was like, yeah, I saw the cave once. Why would I go to the same place? As I said, I'd rather just swim around and just try to be able to see that octopus, for example, that eluded me. He was too good at camouflaging. But like I said, I want to see, like, I'd rather see some corals or fishes, or maybe spot something cool. instead of just going back to the same place where. And that time around, it was just us. It was just us swimming because literally everyone else was at the cave. So that was very nice. And he commended me. He said I was good at diving, and I was like, "Thank you. I think so as well." Um, Interesting thing, I found it much harder this time though than I did in Cyprus. These are not the exact same ones, but they were kind of small, my swimming feet, so I do blame that. Because even though I did the movements, I didn't really propel forward as I should have. And it was weird. And one thing I didn't like about this diving place was that what they do is they hold you. So I'm never like alone and free because he's always holding me, and that impairs my ability to. Um, so I'm so happy in Cyprus I got to try freestyle because then I could actually learn how to dive. Because if this would have been my first time, I would never have learned, I think. But I mean, now it was fine, and he was. But he was good because he did give me some freedom, and he said, "Oh, if you're good, I will be like behind you and not in your way. But if you suck," he did not say that. But if you're not as good, they will just really steer you, and that's not as fun. Because he said it's like, but if you show that you can and that you know what you're doing, then I can give you more freedom. It's like, yeah, sounds reasonable. Um, but yeah, so that was a little sad. It would have been more fun to actually dive more freely. But then on the other hand, one thing that what which was nice, because it's kind of hard for me to stay at the exact same level. I mean, sometimes you go up or down, but it's hard for me because I'm a beginner, eh? Uh, but what he did sometimes was like he was holding me, like holding my tank, so I'm here somewhere, I guess. Uh, so he was holding me and then like pushed me down, like, look at those corals, look at them, look at them. And so like my face was here and like the corals were here. I was like, yeah, I see the corals. And he's like, good, you see the corals? And it's like, and then he took me away, which I think was very good because I would not have been comfortable nor good enough to dive that close without crashing onto the corals. Because he said that earlier, like before we dove, like, don't hurt the corals, don't touch them. It's like, no, no, why, no, of course not. And he was like, yeah, but in Japan, people don't really think about it or care about it. They sit on the corals or like take pictures and things like that. I'm like, no, god damn it, Japanese people, that's not good. Don't hurt the corals. We, be kind to the corals, and the corals will be nice to you. um, no, but yeah, and I don't remember. I think I saw one. Yeah, I saw one in Cyprus, but here I saw very many, very many. I saw many fishes, Nemo fishes. So that was very clownfish, right? Isn't that what they're called? Yeah, clownfish. Yeah, I just need to double check. I was like, I'm so stupid if I said like blowfish confidently. Oh yeah, that's a blowfish. It's like, no, it's a clownfish. But not the exact same one, but a different kind of blowfish, and I saw them in the Anemoa, like the little forest of where they live. So that was very, very cool. Oh, and he said, do not touch anything, especially not that. And I'm like, yeah, I know, it's poisonous. But that was very cool to actually see in real life, and we saw many little Nemo animal habitats when we were diving, especially the second time. So it was very, very nice. And one thing, except for all the needlefishes, because I think they're so cool. I think we actually even saw like a snake or something in the water because it was like the snaky thing. But what I wanted to say was these ones, F, which also has a name. Banana vrasse, I don't know. Anyways, but I thought they kind of looked like that, all of them, but they were so different in their coloring. Like one was like almost like only green and pink, and one was very much purple. It's like very, very different with the colors, and all were extremely beautiful. because you dive there and the water is so clear and there's so many corals and fishes, but these just light up. It's like like a beacon in the night, kind of, because they are so extremely powerful, and they look like in the water. They look so extremely colorful as well. So it's very, very cool. And when we were swimming around, there was this one that came, like it came from further away, and then it just swam, do, and it was like here. It was like looking at me, like hello, and then it swam away. But that was very cool. It's like, oh, it was here. It was here. It was close to my face. I was like here. I was like speaking to the fish. I was like, hello, you're very pretty. You're very pretty. I like you very much. And it's like, thank you. I got to go now. Yeah, but so that was very cool. It's nice to see them up close. Yeah, and then he said, "Oh yeah, I can take you. Like, where are you gonna go later?" I was like, "I don't know," because like I will go because I need to get to the diving place, be there at 8:15. It's like I don't have time to make another plan. It's like I will go to diving place and then I will see whatever I'm gonna do later on. Oh, I was gonna say, wait for the end. I should have said that at the beginning as a little teaser. Now it's too late. If you watched this so far, you're gonna see the rest. But at the end, if I remember, I will tell you about how I almost died. But first things first. Well, technically that happened before, but I'm gonna save it for last. Anyways, it was nice of him, like to give me a ride, and then I just asked, "Well, where's your diving home, the office, or where they have their diving stuff?" And he said, "Oh, it's like up here." And I was like, "Let's go up," because now, like I said, I am on main island, and I'm kind of in the middle. So it's like, and Graham, like on the map, he put up some things like higher up on Okinawa, and I'm like, yeah, but I've been to the southern part. I'm not gonna really. It's nothing worth. Like he said, oh, there's like this cool onsen where you can sit, but you have like the view of the planes coming and going. It's like, yeah, sounds cool, but I'm not gonna go back down to Naha just for that. So I was like, let's go up. Up, euphoria. So up we go. So he recommended, like, oh, I always recommend people to stay at this hotel, and it was a 3,600 yen, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. Good price. Very happy. I like good price. Especially since I'm gonna stay for 2 nights, because I'm gonna stay for tomorrow. Yeah, so this night and then the next night. So especially because like if it's one night, like okay, fine, 8,000 yen or even more, like yeah, for one, but for two, no, it's no. I have a budget. I'm trying to stick to it, but yeah. But I said that in my short that no rooms available. He was like, yeah, we have a room. And he's like, yeah, but it's very dirty. It's very horrible. It's like full of insects. I was like, what kind of a nightmare? I was like, we can look at the room at least, because like my cheap side is like, you will survive. It will probably be very cheap. But I mean, it's fine. You tell me if you see any bugs, or you know what, don't tell me. I'm happier if I don't know. But I mean, I've not seen anyone little dirty at the corners. But it's like, yeah, I don't. I mean, this is fine, and it's very big and nice, and it's pretty. I really like these ones, like the floor. I want these ones. It was so funny when he let me inside. It's like, oh, here, and I was like, oh, it's great. And he was like, kind of like when he was leaving, he was like, please don't steal anything. I was like, no, I wasn't planning on stealing. I'm still not planning on stealing. But it's like, if you're so nice letting me, stay here, because I'm quite sure this is usually not what they don't let people stay here like that. But I'm not gonna steal, but it's just, please don't steal. Here's the key, but please don't steal anything. It's like, I don't know. It's like, if I was gonna steal, I'm probably still gonna steal, aren't I? It's like, but please don't steal. I don't know. I thought it was funny, but I just like, oh, okay, that's interesting how that worked out. And I got to stay here for an even cheaper price than what the hotel would have been. So that's nice. So it's just nice how things are working out. Like I hadn't even planned to stay today. My original plan was like, nah, not too impressed with Okinawa so far. And then it's like, yeah, because you stayed in the cities and you didn't really go anywhere, Victoria. Why would you? So I'm so happy. I'm so happy I stayed another day because just seeing this beautiful sea up here, I'm like, damn, there must be so much more to see and just beautiful views. You know, there's so much more beauty of, as you know. And then I realized maybe not, but Okinawa are like the big island, and there are many small ones everywhere. We um, so I would like to go to more islands on Okinawa. It's not gonna be able to. I am not gonna be able to this time around, but in the future. But yeah, and then I was gonna go to this cliff thing, which is like an hour away ish, maybe less, with the bus. So I walked for a bit, like 20 minutes, looked for all the shells. And then I came to the bus stop, and then it's like, yeah, I should be here in 2 minutes. I went there for like 20, 25 minutes. I was like, okay, I'm bored. I drank the apple tea. And then I was like, okay, but you know what? I'm actually tired. I don't really want to go there anyways. It's not too important. I will go to this cafe that's super close, like 50 meters away. So I went to this little cafe. It looked very awesome, and the prices were super good, and it was supposed to be open, but it was not. I was like, fuck, it's closed. Okay. Well, I guess I will just get back to the bus then, because it hasn't gone, because I've been keeping watch out to make sure I do not miss the bus. And then I start walking back, and then I see, yep, that's probably 120. Yep, that's probably my bus. Did he stay and wait for me? Even though I was 20 meters away from the bus stop? No, he just went. And I'm like, fuck you. Because I've been waiting for 30 minutes. Like, you were supposed to come 30 minutes ago. Like, you kidding me? Like, I've been waiting. And then to just miss it with that short, so I just, you know what? I will go to Lawson, and then I will go back home. Lawson is like 7-Eleven. Yeah, so I bought some ice cream and some food. And I also bought this one at, well, not at Lawson, but yay. So I bought that one, and these ones belonged to that one, but they just came loose, and I was like, you need to grow the roots and things. Don't you know how to plant? But it was very cheap, and I was like, oh, but I'm gonna leave a little flower here when I leave. See, I did not steal. I contributed it to the atmosphere of this room. Yeah. So time to tell you how I almost could have died, because technically, I mean, it's funny because technically I was never close to dying, but technically I was very close to dying. So it's interesting. But tell me what you think. So my plan, like I said, was to kind of like, I wasn't too impressed with Okinawa. I mean, now I love it. Like, having been here, it's like, yeah, fucking love it now. Definitely want to come back. I haven't talked about it, but I went to like the big market street, and like everything was just the same souvenir shop over and over again. I was like, okay, yeah, but this Gongsha, like the bubble tea, worth it just for that. But but except for that, it's like, nah. So much happier I actually traveled around a bit more. And it's fun how it ended up. Like, I did not expect I would be sitting here above the dive center in their room and chill. So it's just nice how things happen. So I really do think that is one of the best things with planning a trip, just having lots of empty days where things, so you can allow things to happen. Because if I would have stayed at that hotel, I'm sure it would have been great. And had I stayed somewhere else, it would have been great. If I would have traveled back to the main island, it would probably also have been great. So, just in different ways. Anyways, so my plan was to actually fly home today because, like, yeah, whatever. And the weather was kind of bad as well. It was like, yeah, I mean, still warmer than fucking Sapporo, definitely. But, yeah, sorry, a little tired, hard to focus. But I was planning to fly back home. But then I was like, oh, okay, but diving. I really want to go diving when I'm here because, Okinawa is known for, being very beautiful to dive. Ooh, time to sidetrack. Short, but he said that today was actually super 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 good because the water was so clear that even when he was down there, I mean he's been diving there for very very much, and he said that it was so clear. Like sometimes I was like, where are we? It's like, oh yeah, we're here. Oh no, now we're here because it was so clear and you could see so far, and usually it isn't that clear. So it's like, oh, you like to hear that, of course. It was very nice. It was very clear as well. But so my plan was to, well, okay, fine. I must do diving when I'm here, otherwise I will be pissed at myself. So I did. So I'm gonna do the diving, and then we will be finished at like 12:01. Okay, like between 12 and 1, and then I will go back to the airport and then fly up because I don't really know what else to do. It's like, yeah, then I do something for the first half of the day, and then I fly back, and that's like, yeah, sounds like a plan. But then, like 1 or 2 days ago, we have been writing back and forth for a few days. He said that, oh, by the way, when are you flying back? Oh, well, like either home or to mainland, whatever. Because I said, I in my first email to him, I said that, oh, I will be in Okinawa for 15th, 16th, 17th. I really like to dive. Sooner the better. He was like, yeah, 17th is what I can do for you. So 17th it is. And I was like, well, guess I will stay the 17th as well. And then go back up. It's like, oh, I guess I have to stay another day at Okinawa then. Like almost, well, I'm not going to say almost, it was kind of like that. But like I said, now I'm super happy I stayed. So beautiful. So pumped for tomorrow. And I will show you more beautiful places on Okinawa. And the weather is going to be good both tomorrow and tomorrow, which is also great. So that's nice. Men ja. So he asked me when I was flying back. And then he told me that you cannot fly in an airplane after you have dived. Like you need to wait 18 hours. And I was like, what? I've never heard that in my life. That you cannot dive and then you cannot go on an airplane. Like if you dive and then go on an airplane, it's dangerous. And then you have to wait basically 20, like a day. And I was like, so I have to stay on Okinawa for 2 days? No, it was more like, okay, this I really didn't plan to stay even 1 day. Now I have to stay 2. Okay, I'm just gonna reschedule things in my head. But it's like, I've never heard that. And then I asked Graham about it because Graham, he has a diving certificate and he dives a lot, and yeah. And he's like, yeah, it's dangerous. I mean, the more you wait, the better it is. But I was like, how dangerous? He's like, yeah, but if you go diving and then fly like immediately afterwards, yeah, you could die. It's like, you could die? You could die? It's like, I've never heard this in my life. I've never heard this. I've been in an airplane. They never mentioned the diving thing. I've gone diving. They never mentioned the airplane thing. Oh, wait, it's like in Cyprus, like, I went diving and then the next day we flew home, I think. I have to look this up. I mean, I survived that obviously, but then maybe 18 hours did pass, around 18 hours. But I mean, my plan was to come here, dive at 12, 13, and then take an airplane back to mainland directly afterward. That was my original plan. And what scared me so much was that, what if he had forgotten to say that? In passing, just mention, oh, by the way, because I've never heard that. Never in my life. It's not like on diving sites that they tell you, oh, by the way, in parentheses, just so you know, you cannot fly an airplane. Like, you cannot be the pilot, you cannot fly, but you know what I mean. It's like, isn't that good information to tell people? Isn't that like a good thing to be common knowledge? It's not like 2 + 2 is 4. Or, I don't know, China was first with paper money, or, anything reasonable. But like, I don't know, but like what really scared me at that time, like 2 days ago, it was, what if he had forgotten to tell me? oh yeah, we like, oh, she already knows this is obvious, but I will say it anyways. I mean, if it's so obvious, of course you don't tell someone. What if he had just forgotten or didn't even think about it because for him it's so obvious? I don't know. So because you know, it's easy to forget things. We're humans. We forget things. We forgot to say things. We forget to take the phone with us, or that we were gonna do this very important thing or call that person. Yeah, he could have forgotten to just ask that. And it's like, yeah, I would be fucking dead. Yeah, I would probably. I mean, it's 10 now. I would probably be dead by this point. Yeah. So it's like that's also crazy. It's like, yeah, I could be in a parallel universe. I'm dead. Victoria in a parallel universe died. People are mourning her right now. Is I don't know. I just think it's interesting. Because so yes, as I said earlier, that well, no, technically, nothing happened, and I'm completely fine, and I was never close to dying, and now I will actually take the boat back because I changed my mind because, yeah, plans changed. So, but then at the same time, yeah, if he had forgotten to tell me, just randomly mentioning it, but oh, by the way, when you're going back to Okinawa, not to Okinawa, to mainland, I would have been dead. Because it's not like they would have told me at the airport, like, oh, by the way, have you like in the previous 24 hours, have you done any of these? Like, no, like it's like, yeah, don't be pregnant or something. It says sometimes we're like on the roller coasters. Don't be pregnant. Like, can we have one of those at the fucking airport? You know, the don't be these things. Don't do these things. Don't die. It's like, please, let's make this common knowledge, eh? But yeah, so that was my story about how I could have died, and yeah, so such be it. See ya.